Hello, and welcome back to TED Talks Truth and Reality about how humanity unconsciously created the eve of destruction. Past circumstances and previous conditions have slowly evolved up to this point in time and are lined up to do massive harm to huge numbers, just like the 9/11 tragedy did 13 years ago. I have been trying to draw viewers' attentions to the underlying factor and only cause of this disaster, and any and all disasters and tragedies that have ever happened in the past. I have been hoping to get more individuals to understand and comprehend how and why humanity teeters on the edge or precipice of destruction in the actual Creator's reality, not in our minds, but in the real world. And I've been trying to point out that selfism is the cause and effect of all this evil, but to no avail. I have tried to be prim and proper in laying out my intentions, and I have followed and accepted the proper line of being PC and trying to do the right thing to help other lost souls get out and on the proper pathway to achieve personal self-enlightenment and reach personal happiness along the way. I only wish to encourage the people by using my truth tale to demonstrate that they didn't need anything outside their realm of individuality other than the want and the will to pursue their dreams for happiness. And I was only, honestly, hoping to build a following of mostly young people before they were totally brainwashed, conditioned, and unable to think on their own and think in someone else's belief system, in a belief system that could be flawed or faulty, as I point out in all my previous truth talks. I was also praying that old-timers like myself would join us, slow down, and take some time to look back at all their mistakes, learn from them, and realize they have special skills and insights that they could pass on to coming generations. My wife and daughter kept telling me all along that I wasn't being me. I was trying too hard to be nice. My daughter told me when she viewed the first few, it looked like I had a 2x4 up my ass, and I was being something other than me. My wife kept voicing similar criticisms, but I was trying to properly set in stone my intentions. I wanted to go on record to say that this is what I want to accomplish in the course of our discussions, and especially when I get into Volume 1 and Volume 2 of Slow Down and Love. I wanted to have everyone not question anything that my intentions were going to reveal. This week, while making a 10-hour round trip in the car, my wife said again, "Why don't you talk like you do to me and your friends? Why don't you use the same passion and zeal you use when you explain your books and your story to people in front of you?" She said, "Give them that locker room pitch like in the old football days when, as a captain of the football team at UVA, you inspired your teammates to be better than they were at that point in the game, halftime." I quietly pondered her comments and those of my daughter over the last day, and I didn't have much in mind on what to speak to today, and taking their advice and some of the advice of my close friends who referred to me as professor-like in my presentation. But none of the viewers have seemed or wanted to be inspired or were moved enough to join in, because the following has been meager and disappointing results to this point. I just don't know how to get the word out. My family and friends all said the same thing. I wasn't quite myself. What people were watching and hearing was a packaged version of a PC me. And to me, PC was becoming and beginning to mean professional con job. In the art of survival, people were learning how to adapt and adjust, and now are learning to survive and adjust within the social media. And they're using this survival mode to sell their bags of goods, because no one knows who is really on the other side of a tweet or a Facebook. And 90% of the followers of Facebook and the Tweeter world are pushing a story. They're actually making it commercial. I checked today, out of 100 new followers, 90 of them were pushing a book or a candle or a set of beads or a movie or a video or a song or something. And I did all the Facebook. Matter of fact, back in January when I started, I got on Facebook, didn't sell any books. Got on Twitter back in last February, tweeted my ass off to a ton of people, and said all the right things. Matter of fact, a lot of them that I spoke to and tweeted to and emailed and Facebook were pretty high up in the news industry, managers of huge national stations, owners of well-respected conservative magazines. None of them returned anything or even acknowledged that they received them. Then I finally decided maybe they were right. If none of this was working, then maybe I need to resort to my heart instead of my mind, because what I had told you to this point was a well-rationalized, well-thought-out, calculated, physical presentation of the facts. So listening to them, I've decided to go unplugged or unscripted and speak from the heart. And my very first statement from my heart is going to be, America, when are you going to get your head out of your ass and realize that the world is caving in right around you, and pretty soon you're going to go down with it? With your head up your ass, the only thing you see is your own shit, and the only thing you believe is your own shit. You don't even have an opportunity to digest or understand anyone else's ideas or views. And this is what selfism is. You're so involved in yourself, you don't realize that the stuff you eat, if it's bad, comes out as bad shit. It's the same thing when you digest things into your mind, and all the thoughts and all the ideas that come into your mind. If they're bad, then they come out of your mouth bad. And therefore I am trying, and I am only trying, to get you to be aware that within you is the real you. Within you is the real guide. Within you is the person that's going to help you uncover what's real in life, not what you've been programmed and conditioned to think and believe is real. And that's when I talk about truth in reality. Truth is the actual truth that takes place between you and individuals. Reality is God's world. That's the Creator's world. That's the world that's out there waiting to exact its measure of karma for you thinking and doing bad things. When you think and do bad things, you're down here, as Tom Cruise say. When you think and do good things, you're up here. You're heaven, hell, heaven, hell. Think good, think bad. It's as simple as that. I can't make it any clearer to you. I understand now from watching TV and watching Jimmy Kimmel and Jesse Waters and Waters World on O'Reilly that most Americans are dumbasses. Hate to say it, but I've watched them interview. They hold up President George Washington. Everyone in the country should know who it is. I'm amazed how many don't. when they interview any of the people in the street and they talk to them, they come across as clueless, uninformed, unattached, detached, only involved in their own stuff, heads up their asses, worrying about their own me little world, as I've been trying to tell you in my nice way. But now I'm going to talk to you like more than half of America thinks and talk. I'm going to talk to the common people, and I don't mean common in a mean or nasty word. I'm talking about the people who really don't have a voice and who really don't understand they're getting screwed by the people up here. But not in a bad way, it's because they don't know any damn better. They are so selfish, so self-centered, so involved, so politically correct, so interested in being right, that they don't really worry about the people at the bottom. And the people at the bottom need a voice, and they need to listen to the voice inside them in order to express their own views, good views. Because if there's no voice and all the stuff that's coming in your head is bad, everything you're going to do, everything you're going to think, everything you're going to say is going to be bad. Hopefully, I'm able to strike some chord in your thick skull. Maybe I need to reach you through the heart, and I will do that when we get into my book, Slow Down and Love. And another 2 or 3 sessions we're going to get into it, and I'm going to start with my dedication. And I will explain to you next week and the following week exactly what my intentions are in discussing the book. And they're 40-year-old intentions, so they're nothing new, and I don't need a script anymore, and I don't need to think anymore. I just need to speak from the heart. My opening statement was that this is the eve of destruction. 13 years ago, 9/11 took place, and it did more to rock and shake my foundation than anything. I became mad. I became disappointed that I lost my vote by being a felon. I was so upset that I didn't know what to do. Too old to join the military. So all I did was support our country and our military with all my heart and all my soul. Many Americans did too for just a little while, but just as there is that tendency to forget as time drifts off into the past, most of us don't remember, and most of us were too young. A lot of you guys don't realize how much of a bad thing that was. You read someone like goofy-ass Ward Churchill or someone like Bill Ayers getting out and spouting things that America is bad. Then let them move away to a better place. There is no other better place. And that's the reason we need to join in, work together, and correct the mistakes we have made in the past. And we have made them, and we'll continue to make them. That's human nature. They need you to wake up. They need you to get involved. They need you to get up off your lazy ass and out of the dungeon and out of your parents' basement and out of your ass and out of your computer games, and spend just a little bit time to find out what really is going on in the world around you. And maybe then you'll understand that creative force that I'm going to talk about and have been talking about. Another thing I want to leave you with, the other night, Sunday night, I was watching 13 Hours on Fox with Brett Baer interview with the 3 men who were on the eve of destruction 2 years ago at Benghazi. Brought tears to my eyes to see that they expected their country to support them. They expected their State Department to support them. They expected good things to come from our government, and were let down. Consequently, 4 men died. Most of you guys don't even know about it. Most of you guys don't even care about it. Most of you guys live in your addicted dream world where drugs, booze, sex, lies, cheating, or everyday occurrences, and you don't even understand what you're doing to your life if you're young. If you're old like me, it's almost too damn late to worry about some of the things you did. But it isn't too late ever to change tomorrow. It just takes the want and the will. So on the eve of that tragedy 13 years ago, I ask each of you to think, slow down a little bit, think a little bit, want to be better, try to be better, and watch what will happen. In no time, the world will be better. I will pick this up on Sunday. I think that's enough of a dose of Ted Talks locker room, but I intend to speak from my heart from this day forward. So please join in, please spread the word, bring in more lost souls, and together maybe we can make it a happier and better day tomorrow, and a happier and better day in the future for our great-grandchildren, because I'm working on my children and my children right now, trying to do it for them. So until Sunday, as always, Godspeed.